yourself.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
So, 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable. Free at last! Free at last!
You're listening to the Alan Autry Show on the best talk in town. Talk Radio 1550 KXEX. Call Alan now, 559-899-1550.
Hey, welcome to Alan Autry No Retreat. I'm old Alan Autry, and as always, honored and humbled to have you with us today, emanating from our bunker here in Manchester Center in the beautiful KXEX offices. And as I continue to kill time with Larry Powell while Go Guillermo, that's my new nickname for him.
Go Guillermo.
Go get him, Guillermo. That's it. Triple G.
Hey.
Triple G. Go get him, Guillermo. That's your new moniker. You better like it. Go get him, Guillermo. All right, say something so people know you're here.
I'm here.
All right. Boy, we got a lot to talk about. Let me look up the monitors. Oh, God. The Fed just raised interest rates 0.75 percentage
75
point.
basis points.
You talk about putting the brakes on an economy.
Yeah, that's really bad.
The biggest since 94.
Gosh, look at that. Man,
Wow.
Well, so much for a soft landing, right, Guillermo?
28 years.
So much here, Larry, for the old soft landing.
Yeah, really.
That we were hoping for. So let that be a lesson. Do not elect people who think inflation is good. You see, you got pissed off yesterday?
Oh,
He's tired of it.
Yeah,
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people saying that spending causes inflation. I don't want to hear it anymore. It helps people. I'm tired of hearing about crime increase. Crime doesn't hurt people. It helps people. It thins out the herd. I'm tired of hearing about it. Don't talk to me about that.
Man.
Tell me about the MS-13. You got just people want to come in and help cure multiple sclerosis. That's why they call it MS-13. Well, they tell me I spend everything. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. Somebody bring me an ice cream. I mean, did you see him? He fell into every old senile stereotype. Me as an old dude was sitting there going, "No, Joe, don't do that to us. Don't do that to us." What do you think about that? We'll get into this. I'm trying to shake. I just saw this, folks, in real time. I'm in shock. 75. That doesn't sound like a lot, but Larry, you're our resident economist here.
Thank God someone is.
Yeah, really.
I quickly looked at you, then when spun over to the right to Larry. In your
28
education, what does that mean? That
28
means,
years since it was raised that much.
Oh, credit card.
28 years.
Credit card debt is going to just skyrocket.
Oh, absolutely.
Imagine
as soon as that happens, what is a slow riser is mortgage rates. Mortgage rates will continue to move up, but not nearly as bad. But I'll tell you, all the short-term interest rates are going out of the window. I mean, just boom, gone. And a lot of families get hurt more with those short-term 3/4 hikes, that kind of stuff. It's going to really, really be tough.
We hear the term regressive tax.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're like me, sometimes throughout life, I would hear terms for years that I really didn't know what they meant, but I just was too embarrassed to say, hey, what does that mean? And some basic stuff that you find out in life. But, some people may not know what a regressive tax is. If you're a gazillionaire, well, you don't even have to be a gazillionaire. You're just a rich dude. Paying $150, $175 to fill up your gas tanks, not going to mean anything.
Right.
You can absorb that. It does not matter to Joe Biden. Gas, $8 a gallon, John Kerry, anybody in Congress, really.
Oh, yeah, agreed.
It means nothing to them.
Well, Joe hasn't driven a car in 50 years.
Yeah.
Right, but regressive tax means it taxes on the poor, the middle class. If you're making $40,000, $50,000 a year, and that $150 to fill up your tank is a big freaking deal to your budget.
Absolutely.
You got to make some real difficult decisions to put food on your table, Guillermo.
Yeah, it is. And I think my biggest problem is the fact that the Biden and Harris administration is still blaming other people.
Trump,
Putin, and then today it was the greed. It was greed. It was those rich oil executives making way too much money. My problem is that you have to know you have a problem, right? Let's think about this logically. If you're going to fix something, you have to acknowledge that you have a problem. they don't acknowledge they have a problem. They've yet to acknowledge they have a problem. And they honestly believe in all sincerity. And I don't know. Yeah, it is. They believe that they didn't cause this.
Right.
This was out of their control.
Do you think they really believe it? Or do you think they're the Spinners? There was a group in the 60s called the Spinners. And that's, they've got to know.
I think they've convinced themselves to believe it.
Yeah. Agreed.
That's where that's at. If they were to sit down with any commoner in America and look at those making $45,000-$50,000 a year and look at the gas prices going up, we have some in California at $9 a gallon now, and hear the distress in their voices of what's happening, because you're now making a choice of how do I get to work or do I feed my family and all of those kinds of things. That's where real life lives, And
the danger for the Democratic Party, if they don't get control of this woke left agenda, I mean now.
Yeah.
It's already not just a flesh wound. They've been wounded deeply that could last for generations.
Yeah.
Is they have to jettison that and get back to their base, which was purportedly the way the Democrats have laid it out. And you refuted on your show very well to show that it's untrue and has been untrue since the 60s, the Great Society, is that they're the champion of the poor person.
Yep.
Yeah. You come to me, you're poor and heavy laden. You minimum wage people, we'll take care of you blue collar worker. Come and we'll take care of your needs. Well, $8 a gallon for gas is not taking care of their needs. Making them stuck in schools because of their zip code, because you sold out the unions, is not taking care of a poor person's a poor family's needs.
But they believe they believe they do, because what this will cause is it'll cause that family to go buy an electric vehicle.
Well, see, there are people that but the average sane individual, whether they be Democrat or Republican, knows that not to be true. Which brings me to my next subject. Did you hear? You have him on the show. You must have listened to him, Dan Bongino, today.
I'm on my way here.
Did you happen to hear when he is obviously drinking the Autry Kool-Aid? He's a member of Autry's army.
He was against the zoo?
No, he said, hold on to your seats. I'm going to say something.
Biden's gone early, right?
Exactly right. No. That Biden is going to resign before 2024 because he's going to be pressured by the Democratic Party, because they have everything hanging on him. They've got the Hunter Biden laptop stuff. They got so much on him as dealings. They're going to say, Joe, you can go peacefully, and you got a lot of reasons. You can use your health as a reason, this and that, but you got to go away, because they're not going to let this anchor called Joe Biden destroy the Democratic Party, because there's never been a more incompetent president. And I hate saying this. I know I've been getting some criticism. Oh, you're a far-right Trumper. You're with the orange man. By the way, Autry, your hair is orange. And look, I call it like I said. I gave this man, at great expense in terms of friends that came after me, my further right brethren, who said, how can you wish for this guy to be successful? I said, I wish for him to be transformed and some of his policies changing. If he is middle of the road Joe, like some people think, and he's being drawn there to the middle by the woke left, once he becomes president and he changes and he helps America, he secures the border, puts in good economic policies, stands up to our enemies, just be common sense.
Yeah.
I will say, hey, good job, Joe. But he hasn't. On the contrary, quite the opposite. He's convinced me he isn't a victim of the Stockholm syndrome of this woke far left. He's the freaking leader of it.
They're not going to make a change. I disagree with Bongino, and I still disagree with you, Your Honor.
No, I say he's gone before the midterms.
Yeah. Oh, no, wait,
yes,
no.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why.
Your timeline's shorter than Bongino.
Yeah. I'll stand by. We got a big dinner at Ruth Chris's on this. Do you remember that?
we do. That's right.
At Ruth Chris's.
For the midterm bet, right?
Yes. For the midterm.
Ain't going to happen. Listen, so the Democrats, again, just like I said, they don't realize what's really going on around them. They're not going to realize that it's their fault. They have not shown us since Afghanistan, since the inflation, since gas, they haven't shown us that they're willing to pivot. There's no pivoting that they have made. Biden hasn't come out and said, you know what, the buck stops here. I did it. He hasn't been able to do it. He's not going to do it. They're going full steam ahead. If they really were going to start nudging him out, you would have seen moves already in place, like Kamala coming out more. Just because CNN is talking to Hunter Biden's ex-wife now and
That's problematic too.
It's
Kamala
And Don
coming out
Lemon
more.
is
It is, yeah.
and Don Lemon is actually asking tough
He
questions
is.
to Karen Jean-Pierre.
That's
Exactly.
because his boss told him he better do it,
Yeah,
or you
that's
don't
exactly
have a job.
right.
But those
Your show's on the chopping. Do you see where they sent Lemon, first of all? Sent him to Ukraine. He was talking about having lattes out. I don't have any problem. I'm having a latte with my husband out there in Greenwich Village, New York. That dude gets in there and ships him off to Kiev.
And it wasn't for a chicken dinner.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. I went just for entertainment value, watching him report from there, seeing he was puckered up. You couldn't have stuck a pin up there. And he's
up where?
bombs
Yeah.
going. Get me back on the subject. Okay, you're saying they won't pivot. Okay.
Larry, take it away.
All right.
Okay.
The real simple thing is this.
Pivot they will.
If you believe you're correct, there's no need to pivot. And when you're under the illusion that you're correct, you're less likely to even pivot. So
all right.
You've got that kind of going on.
Larry, you know
Yeah.
how much I respect you.
Yeah.
I've monikered you Sir Lawrence of Powell. You have helped me out of so many situations as mayor, one of my greatest confidants in life, period. Let me ask you this.
Yep.
Who do you think has the most influence right now in the Democratic sphere?
Susan Rice.
No, in the whole sphere. I would
the
say
Obamas.
Barack. I would say Obama.
The Obamas.
And I would say
But
within the
she's
sphere.
a lieutenant of Obama.
Yes.
So I'm talking White House.
Okay.
And influence on the president.
Have you
She's
noticed?
running the presidency.
Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Have you seen? I think today, Barack Obama made an appearance. It was an Obama sighting. And as always, you can't have a sighting without a comment from Mr. Obama.
Yep.
And he said, apparently, from multiple sources, that he's told Joe Biden that he has no chance of winning in 2024 if he runs. And it's also been by multiple sources that he's advised him not to run, that if he doesn't bring down gas prices, he's toast, he's done. So you have someone who I didn't agree with hardly any of his policies, that we would have to admit to a certain degree.
He's moving closer to Autryism.
Well, he's separated from the woke left.
Pretty much.
I don't see him in there champion that you're,
No.
he called out the Cambridge police as, rashly and recklessly as being reckless, and he found out that they weren't, and he had the guys over for a beer at the White House, and I'm sorry. But I don't see him embracing that if you're born white, that you're a racist, because that would make him half a racist. That would make himself half a racist.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't see him embracing that. And that goes what he said against the woke left, who in reality, folks, they have America right where they want us. They've always wanted $8, $9, $10. They want to see America and the institutions we have destroyed. So you have that ideology on Biden. You have Obama saying, be a realist a little bit. So who wins out?
27.
Because if he goes over to Obama, that would be a pivot.
Yeah.
That would be what you call a pivot.
Yeah. 27 woke left Democrats voted against protecting SCOTUS, the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
100% of Senate voted in favor of a bill to protect them, and all but 27 of OAC's led group voted in favor. OAC led 27 people to say
to
not provide protection.
Yeah.
to the
She's
Supreme
also
Court.
at the same time came out and said you shouldn't have all for red flags and background checks for young people unless they're black and Hispanic. She came out and said, no, I have a problem because they are more susceptible to police. And so you have that ideology, and you have Obama coming in here. Where does Joe go?
He stays.
No, it is, but does he pivot?
He's not going to pivot.
He's going to Saudi Arabia.
So this is
to beg for oil.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, that's going against the woke far left.
It is, but at this point in time,
I'm kind of closing you in. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm
no.
kind of pinning it down.
Well,
I'm enjoying this actually.
It's not going to.
Sometimes you come out swinging and usually knock me down, and you win with your arguments.
Listen.
So, but I think I kind of got you.
They control the media still. They don't care. He's going to go to Saudi Arabia. He might get a deal, might not get a deal. He's going to come back. Nothing's going to change.
Problem is, he's going to come back all in one piece.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say that. The last time, he criticized the crown prince over there. You know what happened to Khashoggi?
Yeah, drink the Kool-Aid.
I'm thinking, Joe, you better be careful going over there.
He's going to get over. He's going to make a deal. He's going to beg for a deal. He's going to bring gas down maybe 30 cents. Nothing's going to change. If I were advising the Democrats, all right, if I were Obama and I see, look, they're crazy over there. They're the crazy wing. We can't let the crazy wing control. So all of us old timers, half of them are on their way out, are going to say, listen, they're in the exact same position they were in 2020. The world isn't ready. America's not ready for you wokeists. We need to keep this in the establishment camp. So we look again. Who do they got? The reason why Obama came out of nowhere was because he was charismatic. He knew how to talk. He was a politician. He knew how to lead. They have nobody of the sort right now. No one's coming out of anywhere. They don't want to hand the reins over to the woke movement. You can't have a third term of Obama. Some are saying, well, Biden is a third term. The only thing that might save them, here's the secret sauce. All right, here it is. You ready?
I'm ready.
The Republicans screw up.
We're going to do that. No. Trust me.
That's a
Too
given.
far ahead.
So you're figuring that in the equation. What you're about to say.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
Once we screw up, they need another Obama. That's their only way out of this. If you can't get the husband, you better get Michelle a crash course in it, because it ain't going to happen. And that's not going to happen. So you're left with Biden. And this is what I would tell Biden. Listen, the day after we get trounced in the midterms, you come out like Obama did. You remember what Obama said? We got a shellacking. Let me be clear. We got a shellacking. And so he's going to come out. That's the time. If I were advising Biden, I'd say, you know what? Just pretend like you're senile. You have no idea what's going on. Keep blaming Trump. Keep blaming Republicans. Trump will mess up. We'll blame it on Tucker. We'll do this. We'll point to everyone. And then come out the day after the midterm and say, all right, fine. I get it. America, I'm sorry. Woke left, you're crazy. Right, you're crazy. I'm for you. I'm for America. I'm for the middle.
I will tell you this with that line of thinking. Yeah. If Michelle Obama, which it looks like this is going to happen, why would they come out in the middle of this mess right now and become public? Michelle Obama gave a speech the other day, and if she comes out with that kind of message, she would be hard to beat. Which makes me why Joe's going to go. They're not going to let Joe hang around. If Michelle Obama says, look, Joe leaves, I'm in.
But you got another problem with that.
What's that?
You got another strong black woman waiting in the wings that's going to say, whoa, wait a minute. I am the vice president. I'm coming in. And now you have the Kamala camp, the Biden and the Clinton and this camp. I think Kamala Harris cannot wait to get to CNN. You think she's?
I think she wants out of there so bad.
Make money.
She knows she's in over her head.
Yep.
She doesn't like it. She's got a little taste of what it is to be in there. She doesn't like it. And I think, hey, do I really want to go against Michelle Obama on this thing? But I still stand by. I really do believe that they can't afford. They meaning what House members and Senate members they have that are barely hanging on, maybe by a point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, entrenched Democrats that have had their position in Congress for a long time are seeing a real test for the first time, saying, look, I may have a 2 or 3 point lead, but if Biden comes and campaigns for me or he's still in office,
that's gone quick.
I'm going to lose. I would rather have him out, and the question be, who's going to be next? We have Kamala Harris, fresh face in there. It could be, how could we do worse? It might be just enough to get the unknown, because the known, Joe Biden, is too destructive for us.
I've got something for you.
And we may lose more than House members in history.
Yeah, I've got something for you to think about. If Michelle were to become president and Obama become first gentleman, his platform would be GFA, Golf for All.
I like that.
GFA, baby, golf for all.
But here's the deal, too. If they got a governor out of Kentucky, a Democratic governor that people are talking about, seems to be a very common sense individual. Man or woman, I just hear a little buzz in Kentucky.
Whatever he wants to be,
mainstream. Right, exactly. Well, the problem is, I don't think he's one of those.
There's not enough time, Alan.
Well, here's the deal. The so-called experts say that being a mainstream Democrat, not a Joe Manchin, not an Obama, but a common sense Democrat, that's doing really well in that state, that state, would be primaried by the woke left. They would never get through the primary. That's the conundrum that you're in. You may have some great candidates out there that would, younger candidates, more common sense, more Joe Manchin-ish and Kristen Sinema-ish, if you will, but they'll never make it through.
Exactly. Don't forget, here's the other part of that secret sauce recipe. They have an insurance policy. All right. They're in good hands. No, nothing. All right.
No. That's. I like that. No.
They're in good hands.
I'm just marveled because somehow you got out of that corner I boxed you in. And I don't know how. You got out. You circled around behind me.
Let me be clear.
And you got me again.
Let me be clear.
Go get him. Go get him, Guillermo.
The insurance policy, elections, and the way America votes. Because as long as they keep sending ballots home, they're going to send a lot of ballots back. That's their insurance policy. If the going gets rough, and we're going to see this insurance policy in full swing, if it's really if their plan has gone according to how they want, if in the midterms they don't get shellackled that bad. We're going to see this insurance policy. Republicans, we need to worry if after the midterms we don't win as big as we say we're going to win, because then we got trouble in 24.
These victory laps that Republicans are taking now are really foolish.
Yeah, but yes, it is.
It's very, very foolish, and they're taking them from the Fox News to the candidates themselves.
But look at what Musk says. Elon Musk voted Republican for the first time in his life in the district in Texas, where Myra won. First Mexican-born American to be elected to Congress. That means Latinos are changing their focus a bit and starting to say, wait a minute, where are we in this? What are we getting out of it? We're getting nothing from Joe. We're getting hurt like crazy. They're family-oriented. They have a strong belief system. They understand that much more than African Americans right now, blacks are not understanding how long they've been under the oppression of the Democratic Party. And Latinos are starting to wake up, and I think they're going to be a powerful force on the right because of that. And you're going to see something else. And to your point on, the president staying in, he has to stay in until he can pardon Hunter. Okay.
Well, I think that's why he ran. Remember I said this on this show way back when.
Remember,
it's called the impression.
Yeah.
Folks.
Here's what Hunter said
Karnak the Magnificent.
in that 77-minute recording on his iPhone backup on the laptop that they found. He said this: "My dad respects me more than he respects anyone in the world. If it's important to me, he will find a way to work it into his platform. And because the man I most admire in the world, that God to me, thinks I'm a god." Now that's direct from him on his words. So this isn't somebody else saying it. This isn't a quote. This is from his words. So I think the president has to stay until
that crack will make you say a lot of things.
Yes, it will. Yeah. So the question becomes this: can you pardon someone for what you're going to do or what you've done?
But here's the deal: you got to get into these people's shoes. I agree with 100%.
Yeah,
that's
he's being a daddy. What daddy would not do whatever they could for their son?
And that's his only son left, right?
He has the trump. Yes.
Yeah.
And he has the trump card. No pun intended. Here's the deal. Okay. All right. I'll step away.
Yep.
Kamala, you have to tell me that you will pardon Hunter.
Yep.
That's the deal.
Doesn't it sound like a
and
Ford
I think if he got that
Ford
deal,
thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
To me, it was
a Ford deal.
I
That's
tell you,
so true.
And we're not talking a car.
I tell you, Bongino, welcome to Autry's Army. Dan Bongino, we're still working on Go Get 'em, Guillermo.
No. Come on, man. Do your Bongino impression. Come on, man.
Listen, I can be a Secret Service thing. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I don't know why I laid my life on for these filth. This filth, I do it because that was my job. That was my job, to protect them, and I did. Democrat, Republican, I don't care. But they're a bunch of filth. They're in a cesspool. And let me tell you, I'm not going to say that I don't feel dirty and want to take a shower after I protect these people, these Democrats, all these years. And I'm not being over dramatic. I know.
That's a perfect Bongino.
Want to hear my Mark Levin?
Yeah. Why not? It's a bad day.
Well, yeah, I'm going to have Mark Levin as a guest host. All you Democrats. All you Democrats out there, you follow these leaders. You don't ask them questions. You don't look to see where the truth really is. You just go like lambs to the slaughter. You just march to that drum, to that woke drum. You just go wherever they tell you to go. And you know why? Because they're communists. They're socialists. And all they want to do is see this country go to hell. But we're not going to let them. This is America.
So spot on.
We're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, I'm going to let Autry back in the saddle here. This is Mark Levin signing off. I love you, America. I hate you communists and you socialists. Get out of town.
Oh, we're going to get letters now.
All you're going to see is the clip. No setup that I'm doing Mark Levin. You're just going to see this all over.
Yeah.
Autry losing his mind. Going, why you're communists? It's socialist. I love. He's right out of an acting class, though. I'll start down dramatic. He'll have his glasses. All right, I want to speak directly to you. You hear all these promises. Cradle to grave, taking care of you. Sounds good. Till you measure it against reality. Then reality hits you right in the face. Once reality hits you right in the face, you get a common sense concussion. And suddenly when you wake up, things look different. You don't want to be a socialist anymore or a communist. You I was hoping when you guys would stop me.
No,
You let me go deeper and deeper and deeper.
Too good.
But boy, I tell you, watching Biden get angry, it was disturbing.
I thought he was going to have a heart attack. You know,
I'm tired of it. That spending causes inflation. I'm tired of it.
I'm telling you, they believe it. They're surrounding him, telling him, hey, this isn't your fault.
Yep.
You inherited a mess.
Or this is good.
Yeah. Jennifer Granholm.
He came on and said inflation is good, and at $8, $9, that's what they've been hoping for. To drive everybody to those very affordable electric cars. You got one of those yet? I tried it the other day. I got a solar panel, put an extension cord in there, duct taped it on the top of my car, put the rest of the cord in the tank. It went nowhere.
Well, I've seen a generator on a trailer plugged into an electric car so they can keep it going.
No way. That is awesome.
What do they expect? Go rush over and buy all these very inexpensive electric cars. What do you do if you live in an apartment? A lot of people live in apartments. Look at all of those charging stations there at your apartment complex.
Huh.
Yeah.
When they're telling you you can't park there, you try to park another car in there.
That's a good point.
Well, where are they going to go?
Who's going to pay for the electricity there? The apartment complex, and then they're going to charge it to you.
Yep.
Yeah, but you have how many units would you have to put in there? Say you have an apartment complex with over 100 apartments, which is a small apartment complex.
10%.
Well, would you have to put one in for every single apartment?
No,
they're going to charge for the stall because that's going to be a special stall. So the apartment will charge you.
Yes, and they'll have a little card for you. You plug it, put in the card, and then it comes back to your apartment.
You know what the saddest thing is? Jennifer Granholm. She said yesterday, we have the clip where she's like, it's a great argument now.
She's a communist.
Yeah, she is.
She's a communist. She's a socialist.
She's Canadian. She's not even American.
That's worse.
I know.
Trudeau. She's a Trudeauist.
And she was a former governor of Michigan.
Yes, I know.
And Detroit, I mean, to be the former governor.
That had to cause you great angst. Governor.
Yeah.
You with your Michigan.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't see it. Like, why? What were her credentials?
And another these politicians just don't know when not to make light, when not to laugh. There's certain things that are just so.
You're listening to the Alan Autry Show on the best talk in town. Talk Radio 1550 KXEX. Call Alan now, 559-899-1550.
Well, welcome back to Alan Autry No Retreat. I'm going to enjoy every second of this show because it may be my last one. Because you know those last bits are going to be posted someplace without the lead-in, and we calling everybody communist and what have you. Autry loses his mind. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about well, first of all, you see the Quinnipiac poll, when you think his approval ratings couldn't go any lower, I guess they did today.
They did, yeah.
He was hoping to get a bounce from the January 6th premiere of the Netflix series Insurrection.
He was bounced
Produced
off the
by-
cement.
Produced by
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi, directed by Liz Cheney, starring
She's
Adam
getting
Schiff.
bounced.
I know. Okay. When is that?
She's
primary?
done
Well, when is the primary?
yesterday.
No,
She didn't make it
that was yesterday.
That was
Why isn't
yesterday.
that big news?
because anything with Liz Cheney
No,
no
even
longer
Fox,
is.
no, Fox didn't even cover that.
No, it's done. Let me
I
go,
don't know.
let
You
me
might
go
be
deep into
wrong.
my show prep.
Okay,
pile
well,
here.
you're going deep there into that impeccable show prep. Larry, the Saudi, does he get a deal that's going to move the needle at all? Because here's a guy, the president, Biden, who's said Putin should be removed from office. He's a homicidal maniac. He's called him every name in the book. This crown prince, and may be true, but that's why you publicly don't get out and do this sort of thing, which gets you nothing but bad will towards you. The crown prince, he called basically a murderer. What happened?
Well, how do you say in Arabic, fracking and pipeline? That would be my response.
Yeah.
If I'm from Saudi Arabia
But
and the president comes over.
So do no fracking?
Yeah. So you
Agree not to frack?
stopped all of it in America.
Right.
You stopped the pipeline in America, but you want us to bail you out.
I think he would probably, yeah.
You know?
I think it's going to just get down and dirty. I think Phil Mickelson was right from his first assessment that he got in trouble. There's some
Yeah.
scary dudes,
Yeah.
Saudi Arabians, and that's a show we want to talk
Saudi
about
doesn't
on the
lose,
golf deal. But
doesn't lose if Biden wins or loses.
yeah,
you know?
well, he's definitely got Biden by the short hairs on that. There's no doubt. But I'm just thinking,
Yep.
as they think through the long term on this thing, do they think to have a puppet they can, for the next 3 years, basically get whatever they want out of them? Do they acquiesce and give enough to move the needle, 50 cents a gallon or what have you? Or do they say, you know what, let's take our chances with
Let
the
me
next
tell you
one.
about the Saudis. They play the long game. They very seldom play the short game. The whole idea to take over America is a 100-year plan. It's not a 10-year plan or a 4-year election cycle plan. It's a 100-year plan. And when you realize that as a society, as a culture, they live the long run, they live that long game, it makes it much more difficult for us because we want success tomorrow, if not today, or if we couldn't have it yesterday. And so when you have a mindset like we have of instant gratification and theirs is deferred gratification, it makes it real tough to compete on the world stage with them. Very tough.
I don't see him getting much of anything.
I don't either.
I don't see where it's to the Saudis' advantage. Well, I mean, for one, Biden's in bed with the Iranians. The Saudis hate the Iranians. The Iranians hate Saudi, have for centuries due to the religious differences that they have between the Shia and the Sunni. So you have that at work. You have them assessing, hey, this guy's toast. He has absolutely zero juice in America to get anything done on the agenda.
Yeah.
Do we, I'm just speaking from the Saudi standpoint, do we have anything that could help him redeem himself? The answer would be no. Even if you're able to drop gasoline $1 a gallon, it's still off the chart. $8 a gallon in L.A.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
And it's still going up.
Up Northern California, it's $9 a gallon.
Yeah. And around the country, I think the average is, it's over $5.
Yep. Yeah.
There. So anyway, well, we're going to take a real quick turn here and go local here because something happened and it was really disconcerting to me. And we're going to play a video here of an event that happened here locally, the raising of the pride flag for the second year in a row. Our mayor allowed basically a political flag to be raised. Take the cause completely out of it. The debate in our city here and this debate across the country, I know they had a real strong debate in Boston on this issue. Should political movement flags be allowed to fly over the city hall, the respective cities? Because when you do one, how do you say no to another political movement?
Yeah.
And you may find yourself with a political movement there's a great unanimity in the community that it's a bad organization. It's not good. Ku Klux Klan decides they want to fly a flag after, political organization, and you've said yes to another political organization. They have constitutional rights. You cannot discriminate one against the other. So that's why most communities say you should have your state flag, the American flag first, your state flag if you choose, and if you have a city flag. Right, and then maybe a county, that's appropriate. And but our mayor saw fit to get behind this effort. I thought he made an appearance there at the flag raising, and he had to also show up at the second, which I find surprising because after all the controversy, not that you're taking against a gay agenda or this or that, it's just on the basis of you have a political situation there, and he had an alternative to fly the flag at Eaton Plaza, where you could fly pretty much any flag. I had an alternative. But what really is getting folks here in the community, upset, hurt, scratching their heads, and some just making themselves physically sick, if you're a person of faith, is what was said at this flag raising with the opening prayer. Now, we're going to play this thing in its entirety. I want you to listen very closely to this prayer and take no, I'm not homophobic. Let me tell you, I've had family, friends. I'm not against the homosexual people at all, the gay community, the LGBTQ. That's between them and God. And if you discriminate against them, they're doing a great job at a job, and they're discriminated against solely because of what they practice privately or what have you. I will stand by them. I mean, it's sins that, if you even consider it a sin, it's all level at the cross. And if you don't see it as sin, it's just a matter of fairness. But listen to this prayer and tell me if it doesn't go places that's way beyond the gay rights movement. Go ahead.
All right. Good morning, you beautiful, beautiful people. Especially in times like this, it is great to be gathered together with you to remember how much and the particularity of everyone that we have to celebrate and to embrace, and that we are gathered around, especially by love. So in that spirit, I invite you to join me in a spirit of prayer to whatever God you pray to. Holy God, divine presence, scandalous one, you have been called the worst of names, tossed aside by traditions, met with violence and neglect by stranger and kin alike. And still you do not conform to the expectations of power or polite your way into halls of destruction. You, God, are the ultimate transgressor, queerer of norms that harm and confine, and that bear witness to the glory of the strange. You, queering one, reveal the gifts of falling outside the lines. You break open possibilities around us and within us, and whisper in our ear, see me, feel me, desire me. You help us to become alive again, calling us to passion through beauty, motivating through love, calling us to courage at our center. May your spirit be awakened in every space that is dull with repressed delight, that we may choose to live into the riches of the particularities of being together. Embrace us, O God, as we embrace each other and every single other. God, be in our celebration, in our spirit of pride, as we revere the best, the holy, all that you have created. In your holy name we pray. Amen. Thank you all.
The balloons are popping.
Okay.
Oh, that's Satan, sweetie.
I would be embarrassed if I were gay and heard that, because I think it denigrates, what a lot of gay folks believe. In a lot of ways, gays are very much like the rest of the folks in Fresno. They have families, they have likes, they have dislikes. They don't go off in incoherent talk. And that's what that was.
I didn't get it.
Totally incoherent.
When have you ever? I've heard of God referred to as Allah, Jehovah Jireh, Yahweh. Never have I heard God referred to as queer one, queer of norms. I've never. I think that is something. This is just my own interpretation of this. I don't know this gentleman, but to me, I think that could be said. That's why I'm not reacting emotionally, because I think that's what they want.
Yeah.
I think that was meant directly at Christians. We don't call, oh God, the straight one. We don't sexualize God.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any faith who does that. Who
we don't
sexualizes.
Yeah, we don't criticize other faiths.
But calling calling God the queer of norms, the queer one, knowing full well that that's a relation, that is a reference to a sexual orientation.
Mm-hmm.
Now you could say, well, that's your bigoted view, Autry, and I would say, come on, get real.
Yeah, get over it.
Quit trying. Of course, you know what that means. You don't play that game with me. The queer one is absolutely referring to a sexual orientation.
Yep.
There may be other things that go to it, but that's the whole foundation of it. And to call God that, and there's a lot of folks like me who grew up being taught that was not a good term to call someone who was homosexual. You didn't call them queer. Now, along the way, someone in the gay community decided to say, hey, it's okay to be queer. Just like, calling someone black the N-word. There's some group that said, okay, we're going to say that the N-word's okay. I never bought that.
Mm-mm.
And a lot of black people really were resentful of that. And I think there's a lot of folks in the gay community that, because I know a lot of them, they don't use that word. To many, so if you know that, I don't know if you call this guy pastor, what do you call this gentleman? And what gets me is, what's our mayor doing there, shaking his hand afterwards and patting his back and saying, good job?
Larry, you want to field this one first? I'll take
No,
this.
I know we're going into real tough territories, guys. I love Jerry Dyer. I think he could be one of the best, if not the best mayor we've ever had. I love him like a brother. But what I bring to him is honesty, and he knows it. And I would ask him flat out, because it's not just me sitting here thinking this. It's saying, that's when you make a stand. You don't clap. You don't pat on back. You just ignore it. I'm not saying get up there and rebuke it then, but you don't shake the person's hand and pat him on the back and give the optic that you're saying, way to go, great prayer.
Yeah, and I agree. And before I say what I'm going to say, I know Larry and Alan don't know what I'm about to say, and they don't endorse this, but it seems to me that Jerry wants to be everything to everybody depending on where he's at. And my problem is he's going to do the same thing if he's around Republicans. He's going to do the same thing if he's at, my Seventh-day Adventist church and someone's praying there. He's going to say, good job. The problem is he's a politician, and he's a darn good one, too. He's no longer, I don't see him no longer as an effective leader, because he's trying to play every side, and he's trying to just do the thing that everybody wants. I haven't seen a tough decision where he's had to make and say, hey, listen, you got to sit down. This is the way it is. This is the way it's going to be. Like, kind of when he was police chief, his decision making was great when he was police chief. I don't know what the mayorship has done to him, and I think he's a politician now. He probably more than likely has his sights set on a statewide office.
And there's a big lesson to be learned here, because I agree with Larry. Larry, I want your point on this just a second. I think a lot of folks in the gay community were offended at that. If you're going to be the mayor, that's why it's very important, or a governor or president for sure, you need to know exactly what's going to happen at the event that you're attending. Who's going to speak, what they're going to speak about. You don't go blindly into that, because your mere presence means that you endorse it. Otherwise, you have to ask for a time to rebut what you hear that you don't agree with, because you're tacitly, I wouldn't say tacitly, you're outwardly, directly endorsing it. I don't know. I study a lot of faiths. I got a lot of stuff of the Muslim faith, the Jewish faith. I don't know what faith, what church is this fellow from? That is so far off the charts of any faith I've ever heard to refer to God as the queer God, the great transgressor. When in the Bible, transgressions are not looked at too good. In fact, you could go to a bad place if you do transgressions and don't ask for forgiveness. Yet you're talking about the God being the great transgressor. Now, if you created a whole new language where left is right, right's left, up is down, no mother, no father, suddenly transgression is good, then you better do some explaining, as Ricky Ricardo said.
Yeah, I agree. The LGBTQ issue, I think, is problematic for Republicans because
I don't think that's representative of Guillermo.
It's
of the LGBT.
It's not. No, I agree.
Do you, Larry?
Well,
No.
Well,
I've never heard anything like this.
The younger, a certain segment of the LGBTQ population,
obviously,
yeah, and just like there are Democrats, there's a wide range of Democrats. I think there's a wide range of LGBTQ individuals, but the Republicans have a big problem with this because here in Fresno, in some of the inner circles, if a Republican or a conservative says, "Hey, listen, you know what, gay marriage, that ship has sailed. That thing is, we're not going to relitigate that." Oh, well, wait a minute, you're not the type of conservative that we like or we want. It's almost as if you're conservative, you have to be anti-LGBTQ. The best response to Pride Month and wearing a pride patch on a jersey was from a Tampa Bay pitcher, Jason Adam. And when I heard it, I said, you know what? This is how I feel. And so essentially we're saying, hey, you got to wear the pride patch on your jersey. And a couple of pitchers said, no, this is what he said. It's a hard decision because ultimately we all said what we want is them to know that we are all welcoming them and we love them here. But when we put it on our bodies, I think a lot of guys decided it's just a lifestyle that maybe not that they look down on anyone or think differently. It's just that maybe we don't want to encourage it if we believe in Jesus, who encourages us to live a lifestyle that would abstain from that type of behavior, just like Jesus encourages me as a heterosexual male to abstain from sex outside of the confines of marriage. It's no different. But essentially saying, hey, look, we love you all. You're all welcome here. But the moment when you're forcing me to do something that's when it crosses the line. We love you all. We're not discriminating upon anyone, but there's boundaries.
Yeah.
And here, those are all politicians. They don't respect boundaries because all they care about is being an elected official and moving on.
Well, there's a simple way to explain it. It's going from tolerance to advocacy. And when you are, you're asking people, and the game plan was real simple. Start with tolerant and then move to advocacy. And so when you've crossed that line, now you're not tolerating my beliefs. See, so it's an interesting conundrum that they're put under, that we're put under when you're told, you need to act the way we want you to act, or we will not be tolerant of you,
Yep.
And yet they're demanding tolerance. A couple of other thoughts here. I always taught students that when you gave a speech, when you say a prayer, when you do something for the public to hear, it has to be coherent. It has to make sense. It has to be something the hearers understand. You can't use coded language for them because coded language goes only to the group that you represent, but not to the main that you're talking to. And what happened here was it was completely incoherent. If I were to just judge that on the basis of a speech, and I'm to say, what did I understand? What was the intent and those kinds of things like we do when we're judging speeches, that would have failed on every count because there was nothing in it that made sense to even 50% of the population, let alone 60, 70, 80, or 90, who you're trying to reach. It was designed, I believe, to just create angst and reaction and not to do anything else. There was nothing in it that would help persuade me in any direction that person probably wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
So it missed the point completely.
I'm just befuddled. It's not hard to befuddle me, but I just never heard the Church of Queer God.
Yeah.
Even in the farthest left community. I've never heard of such a thing.
That's why I started with, I don't think that represents.
Well, he was
the gay
invited, though.
community-
Somebody knew this
community.
individual and
Yeah.
said, this, obviously,
Yeah.
people knew him and said, speak for us.
Yeah.
Pray for us. We like how you pray. We like what you're doing. So
Yeah.
would you kick this very important event off us, Pride Week, the raising of the flag at City Hall? A lot of dignitaries are going to be there. Can you go do the opening prayer? Who, obviously, he makes sense to some people. And I'm just saying that's just, wow.
It's heartbreaking.
Well,
Yeah, it was.
yeah, and it kind of gives you an insight to don't take the, I'm not going to go shake my fist and get my veins going. This guy, blasphemy against God and this and that. You know what I'm going to do? Seriously. I should have made this decision a long time ago when I first heard about this last night because it's wrestled going, oh my gosh. Dad, I'm going to pray for this guy.
Yep.
Because
Amen.
in the Bible, it says really bad things await someone who uses God for their own personal agendas, the gospel of God. So to evoke his name in this type of manner, I pray for him.
Yeah.
Because it's just so far into the world of ugly and hurtful
And divisive.
and I'm going to pray for the folks there that next time, or Mayor, you get in a situation like that, just say, I can't attend. If this guy gives the opening prayer on every one of these events, our mayor needs to say, no, I can't attend. I would advise him, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Just don't attend it.
Just don't attend. You can show your support another way.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or you're letting them fly the flag.
Yeah. There you go.
Isn't that enough? I was invited to a lot of these as mayor, and I had a great relationship with the gay community. But they knew where I stood. I was very truthful to them, and I told them how far I could go. No, I was not going to go to the parade in the Tower District, and I told them why. I love them. I went and met with them, but I'm not going to ride in the parade. Basically, for the reasons that you just mentioned, the baseball player in Tampa.
Yep.
And there was a strange thing. They didn't agree with it. They wished I would have, but they didn't come at me with both. Now, maybe today they would have. So we were in different times. But back then, just being honest with them really meant a lot with the gay leadership in this city back then.
Yeah.
Because I worked with them on a lot of issues. And they knew how far I could go. And I'd go pretty far. I said, if there's discrimination at the workplace, you'll see me right beside you.
Yeah.
If you're doing a good job as a gay
Yep.
person, you're being singled out because of your sexual preferences, I'll come in. Now, at the same time, I can say, I don't agree with certain things in your lifestyle. You don't agree with me. You wish that I didn't embrace the religious principles. So we'll have that.
Yeah.
And I wish you that, but we can go work on other things together. And we did. Worked on a lot of things together. But, all right. Hey, Debbie, I know you called up, but you called up late, and I didn't want to bring you on because we wouldn't have had enough time to get into your question. So if you can call back tomorrow on Thunderous Thursday, be happy to take your call. Go, Guillermo. Appreciate you.
Anytime.
Man, I don't know how you got out of that box that I put you in, but you did. Sir Lawrence of Powell, such a blessing to have you with us here every Wednesday.
Thank you.
And folks, listening on radio, social media, thank you for tuning in. I love you. Thank you for being loyal. We go on a ride here. Some folks aren't going to like it, but God bless you. God bless America, and just keep doing your best and let God do the rest. That's all you can do. Talk to you